Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Priya Mistry, the TMJ doc. This video is about a product called Somnifix. This company reached out to me and asked me if I would like to do a collaboration with them. I already knew about their awesome product, so I was very happy to agree to do this. And so I do want to give you guys full disclosure. This video is sponsored by Somnifix, and I do receive a portion of the profits if the product is bought with my affiliate code, which I've put right here and it's linked in the description box below. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a general dentist with a practice in Portland, Oregon, where we are dedicated to taking care of patients with TMJ disorders. I work here with my wonderful mentor, Dr. Arthur L. Parker. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my Instagram handle. I post here quite frequently a lot of tips and trivia about TMJ disorders. So if you like to nerd out on this stuff like I do, please make sure to follow me on Instagram. So let's get right into it. What is Somnifix? It's basically a very gentle and very easy to use mouth tape. Why, you ask, would anybody tape their mouth? And the answer to that is to breathe exclusively through your nose. Basically, this is a great product for all the mouth breathers out there. So that brings us to, why is nasal breathing so important anyway? Why is it better to breathe through your nose instead of your mouth? So breathing through our noses and having our lips sealed is super important because our noses have a very special system that filters, humidifies, and either heats or cools the air depending on the outside temperature before the air is sent to our lungs. The lungs receive this air and this oxygen with the best efficiency once it's been filtered, humidified, and temperature regulated by the nose. The lungs then distribute this oxygen optimally throughout the body. Nasal breathing and sleeping with your lips sealed also helps to prevent nighttime coughing, dry mouth, bleeding gums, and cavities because the mouth and the airway don't get dried out. I really want to take a moment here to emphasize that I do not recommend mouth taping unless you are absolutely certain that you actually can breathe through your nose. Some people literally cannot breathe through their noses because of a deviated septum, chronic allergies, or severe swelling that's causing obstruction of the nasal airway. So seeing an ENT to establish nasal patency, making sure that you have a clear and open airway and clear and open nasal passages is a must before mouth taping. So fun fact, close to 75% of the population breathes wrong. That means there's too much mouth breathing going on. If you're mouth breathing, all of the benefits of nasal breathing get bypassed. The air is not filtered, the air is not humidified, and the air is not temperature regulated, heated, or cooled. If the air is not filtered, then more foreign particles can enter into our systems. This can lead to more illness. So there is an immune component to this too, and that's definitely a concern, especially in what's happening in today's world. Additionally, if the air is not humidified, if it's not temperature regulated, the lungs don't receive it as well as they receive air that is humidified, that is temperature regulated. So long story short, our bodies have to take big gulps of air through our mouths and breathe really heavily to attain the same oxygen saturation that we would have if we just breathe through our noses. For example, think of watering a small plant. Now take a garden hose at full spray and try to just water that small plant. The water just kind of goes everywhere, and you need a larger volume of the water to adequately water that small plant. That is mouth breathing. Now take that same garden hose and put a nozzle on it. The water becomes streamlined. It goes straight to that plant, and you don't need as much water to adequately water that plant. That is nasal breathing. Additionally, all that heavy breathing and all that extra working that mouth breathers have to do ends up fatiguing and stressing the body. And mouth breathers often wake up feeling exhausted because their body's been working hard all night. Many people that have sleep disordered breathing, they have sleep apnea, and they're mouth breathers, they've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, with chronic fatigue syndrome, with depression, and their sleep and their breathing is often overlooked. So by now, I think you fully understand the benefits of nasal breathing over mouth breathing. So where does Somnifix fit into all of this, you ask? I think it's a great product if you've established that you actually can breathe through your nose. And again, please see an ENT if you're unsure about this. Once you've established that you can in fact breathe through your nose, the next step before you just start mouth taping is to see a myofunctional therapist. If you've been breathing through your mouth with the tongue on the floor of your mouth your entire life, you will have some work to do to retrain the muscles of your tongue, your face, and your neck to support proper tongue posture and nasal breathing. This work is called myofunctional therapy. It's a type of physical therapy for the muscles of the head, neck, and jaw. I explain a lot more about myofunctional therapy and how it's related to TMJ disorders in my video called Myofunctional Therapy and TMJD. I think that video is from last week, so please be sure to check that out. It may help connect some of the dots in everything I'm talking about. The vast majority of my TMJ patients are mouth breathers with low tongue posture. Many of them also have sleep apnea and sleep disordered breathing. These issues, the mouth breathing, the sleep disordered breathing, make our bodies work harder to get an adequate oxygen saturation. All this extra work stresses the body. Our bodies literally can go into fight or flight mode because of this. All this excess stress then leads people to clench and grind their teeth. Clenching and grinding can be 80 to 100 times more force than chewing. And eventually, all that clenching and grinding has a very negative impact on the temporomandibular joints, the TMJs, as well as the muscles that surround and support the jaw. This then leads to TMJ disorders, so jaw joint noises, clicking, popping, crackling, episodes of the jaw locking, headaches, neck pain, jaw pain, ear pain, and the list goes on and on. The connection between mouth breathing, sleep apnea, and TMJ disorders is clear, and I see this on a daily basis. So back to myofunctional therapy. Again, a therapy that helps retrain the muscles of the tongue, the face, and the neck to help support proper tongue position, a good lip seal, and nasal breathing. Once you're in with a skilled myofunctional therapist, they will then direct you on when to start mouth taping to establish a good lip seal, proper tongue posture, nasal breathing, etc. And that, my friends, is where Somnifix comes in. This product is so great because it's hypoallergenic and it's super gentle to the sensitive skin of our lips as well as the tissues around our lips. I honestly believe that Somnifix is the most gentle and the best mouth tape out there. It even has some small perforations in it to allow air to come in through your mouth if your nose is congested. Each box comes with 28 strips, and Somnifix, the manufacturer, recommends not reusing them. So I had the ultimate critic test this out for me, my husband, who is ultra picky about what products he will use and who is prone to snoring. Sorry, honey, the secret's out. His impressions were that Somnifix mouth tape is truly gentle to the tissue on our lips as well as the skin that surrounds our lips. He was happy that Somnifix has small perforations so that he can breathe through his mouth if needed. He is prone to nasal congestion and allergies, so that can be an issue sometimes. After strongly encouraging my husband to use this product and talking his ear off about it, I'm pretty sure he's ready for me to use some mouth tape too. If you're going through myofunctional therapy, if you are a myofunctional therapist, if you're experimenting with mouth taping, after establishing nasal patency, of course, or if you're working toward breathing exclusively through your nose, then this product is for you. You can get 10% off if you use my code PRIYA10 on the Somnifix website. The website and the code are linked below in the description box. Thank you, Somnifix, for sponsoring this video. So that's it, my friends. If you learned something new, if you like what you heard, click like below, subscribe to my channel, do all the things. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comment box below. And remember, my friends, you can never have TMI about TMJ. Thank you.